too many students for one residence hall. And just ahead, how USD is preparing to have an influx of students in Coyote Village.
And some changes to a neighborhood grocery store. Coyote News starts right now.
Live from the Al Newharth Media Center, this is Coyote News.
Good evening, I'm Nathan Finster.
And I'm Kathleen Suri. We'll get to those top stories in a moment, but first the headlines with Crystal Schoenbauer.
Breaking news, an Amber Alert has been issued for a missing 1-year-old in Montana. The child was abducted yesterday afternoon. She's female Native American with black hair and brown eyes. A female employee at Rapid City High School has been fired and arrested for having an illegal relationship with 2 male students. The 39-year-old woman was arrested late yesterday on charges of soliciting a minor and disseminating a harmful material to a minor. Harriet Tubman is headed to the $20 bill. The U.S. Treasury will be replacing President Andrew Jackson with the Civil War-era abolitionist on the dollar. Since 1869, $20 bill notes and certificates have featured Presidents Grover Cleveland and James Garfield, Founding Fathers Alexander Hamilton, Secretary of the Treasury Daniel Manning, and Chief Justice John Marshall. And now on to weather. This afternoon, showers will continue throughout the night. It's raining right now at the new Sanford Coyote Sports Center. Tonight, the rain will continue, but it disappears and a beautiful rest of the week remains. That's a look at weather and your top headlines. Kathleen, back to you.
Thanks, Crystal. Coyote Village is expected to be full next semester as students make plans to live on USD's campus during the fall. Coyote News' reporter Nadia Abusway has more on the story.
Coyote Village, USD's on-campus apartment-style living, is filling up quickly for next semester, leaving many USD students wondering what their housing options are.
Upperclassmen in Coyote Village live on the 1st, 2nd, and 4th floors. Students who are currently living on campus have priority to live on these floors, while incoming freshmen will be placed on the 3rd floor.
We use email to communicate with students as well as postings to let them know how the process works for getting out there, completing your application. How the priority system works is based off of when a student completes their online housing application and more specifically signs the housing contract located within that.
Students looking for more spacious housing may find themselves at home in Coyote Village.
It's a different style of living here, I guess, compared to other places. You know, it's more open space. There are more common spaces, I guess, on the 1st floor, but in other buildings, you're going to have more common spaces on each individual floor.
As the summer months approach, residents of Vermilion can look forward to some changes in its Hy-Vee grocery store. Coyote News' Sean Bauer has more.
The Monday after Easter, the Vermilion Hy-Vee began a remodeling process which is expected to be completed by early June. The major part of the remodel is to install the new customer service desk near the current kitchen toward the front of the store. Other upgrades to the store include repainting the inside, updating the signage, and having the Vermilion Hy-Vee look more like its larger stores in Sioux Falls and even Minneapolis. The total cost of the remodel is about $300,000, and for store director Joshua Suing, this remodel is something he says is a reflection on the value Hy-Vee sees in Vermilion.
Which is a big investment into our community. We're proud to do that. This is actually the first really big investment that Hy-Vee's done in the last 15 years. 15 years ago, we doubled the size of the store, so we're excited this year to update the store as actually we celebrate our 30th anniversary here this next week.
In addition to the remodel being an investment into the Vermilion Hy-Vee, Suing believes it will open up more employment options for both local residents and USD students.
Time that we hopefully do these remodels, hopefully we have increased business. The more business that we have, the more jobs that we can give to our community. Most of our employment is college students, so it's great for the USD campus.
The remodel is part 2 of a 4-part plan, and future renovations include a marketplace grill in a couple years and even greater expansion in the years to follow. For Coyote News, I'm Sean Bauer.
Coming up after the break, Dakotathon's almost here, and we have team coverage of what's to come.
This is Coyote News.
Fostering is when you take in an animal into your home and you take care of them until we can find them a permanent forever home.
If you can find it in your heart to do it, it's rewarding.
We do all the vetting, the neutering, the spaying, the medications.
The Humane Society has lots and lots of great dogs and cats that can pull at your heartstrings and make you realize you got a little more to give.
Clotique is proud to support programming on Coyote News. Located on Cottage Avenue, 1 block north of Cherry Street, Clotique offers women's apparel, footwear, and accessories.
This is Coyote News.
An update to a story we brought you earlier in the newscast. Moments ago, the Amber Alert was canceled. Unfortunately, the 13-month-old girl who was abducted from her home has been found dead. There is a person of interest in custody. And now on to other news. As the semester comes to a close, Dakotathon, USD's dance marathon, has students excited across campus to raise money for a good cause. But while the event lasts only 24 hours, the planning for Dakotathon begins 1 year before. Hundreds of USD students participate in Dakotathon each year. To raise awareness, organizers of the event recruit participants starting as early as the summer with pages on social media. Thanks to the growing popularity and word of mouth from students, Audrey Truey says the event is already close to completing its fundraising goal this year.
Definitely probably 3/4 of the way there, but I don't really know anymore. It's kind of all up to the dancers and everyone to hit their fundraising goals.
This year's goal of $90,000 is about $30,000 more than the goal from last year. After the event, donations will still be accepted until April 30th. And continuing our coverage of Dakotathon, Michaela Feldman joins us in the muck talking with co-chair Joey Snyder.
Kathleen, Dakotathon, USD's largest student-run philanthropy, is only 3 days away. Joey, last year Dakotathon set a goal of $63,000 and then surpassed that goal by about $21,000. This year's goal is $90,000. What goes into meeting this goal?
So there's a lot of different avenues we take to reach that goal. We have events throughout the year that we encourage all sorts of students to come and participate in. That's a pretty big fundraiser for us. And then our sponsorship chairs go out, ask local businesses, national chains, stuff like that, to donate, and then we put their logos on our shirts, on our websites, and as much money as we get from that, and as important as that is, a lot of the money, most of the money, comes from individual fundraising. So we ask every single participant to raise at least $150. Morale captains is kind of the next level. They raise $350 each, and then the executive board members raise $600 each.
Dakotathon raises money for Children's Miracle Network, but why do you participate in Dakotathon, and why should other USD students?
I participate in it, one, because it just is a lot of fun. Staying up for 24 hours probably doesn't sound too exciting for most people, but it's a busy day. There's always stuff going on. There's hundreds of students there, and the bigger reason, I guess, why I do it is because the difference it makes. It's for all these kids that go through more in their short lives than most of us probably ever will, and just the ability to help them, give them a day of rest from all their surgeries or hospital visits, it means a lot.
Dakotathon has seen an increase in 50% about how much it raised in 2014. What do you hope to see for the future of Dakotathon here?
I just hope to see it continue to grow, both in not only fundraising but participation. We're set a new record in participation and hope to do the same thing with fundraising this year. And just to see them keep breaking records year in, year out, that would be amazing.
All right, thanks for talking with us today. Students can sign up for Dakotathon up till the day of the event, but they must raise a minimum of $50. Live in the muck, I'm Michaela Feldman.
Thanks, Michaela. Spring has officially arrived, and with it comes opportunity for new growth. Coyote News' Kenzie Wagner takes us into the budding world of environmental sustainability on campus.
USD is starting to look green again. Flowers are in bloom across campus as the community emerges from a long winter. What many students don't know is the sustainability program's activities on and off campus. As other classes wind down, USD's sustainability department's gearing up for a busy spring. starting by gifting native plants to Vermilion 4th graders.
We're growing prairie plants to give to the students, and then we'll have other prairie plants that we'll either plant at Spirit Mound or maybe give away elsewhere, potentially plant on campus.
But planting prairie grass and other sustainable vegetation on campus hasn't always been met with success in the past.
It just looks different than what people might be used to, and so there are grounds with facilities management kind of got some negative feedback that they didn't look good.
More education is needed for better understanding of the advantages of using native plant landscapes.
We need to retrain people that, having more variability is something that historically we would have had, and there's a lot of benefit to it.
Benefits that could save USD money in the long run.
So if you have more native landscapes, they take less maintenance and they take less human management.
The future of sustainability on campus is being explored. USD's Wellness Center could have a native grass landscape very soon.
Grounds would be happy if we have extra plants from the Spirit Mound project for the capstone. They would be really happy to have us plant some of the plants in there and to help it be more of a showcase piece to say, okay, here's prairie on campus, and we've added some more of the more showy flowers to it.
For Coyote News, I'm Kenzie Wagner.
Coming up after the break, we ask people what their plans are for summer break. And Coyote News' Andy Hartman has some ideas of her own. Stay with us.
This is Coyote News. This is Coyote News.
Spectrum, USD's Gender and Sexuality Alliance, held their most popular fundraiser of the year. Their drag show was delayed earlier this year because of a winter storm.
The drag show is Spectrum's annual show that they put on. We're trying to do 2 a year now, and basically what happens is we have performers come around from the Midwest and perform.
Spectrum does more than just drag shows.
They hold discussion panels about sexuality and gender. They also have an annual Nimble Talk.
The event took place in the Muck Ballroom last Thursday. And can you believe how close summer break is? Well, at least one person is excited. That's Coyote News' Andy Hartman, who has some ideas for your summer to-do list.
Now is a great time to plan out all of the great adventures you're going to have this summer. And by adventures, I mean the fake adventures you'll daydream about when you're working 30 to 40 hours a week at your summer job. Summer was a lot more fun when I was 12 and my only job was reading a 60-page book as summer reading. Adulthood is stupid. I used to spend my summers watching Disney movies and drinking Capri Sun. Honestly, that's probably how I'm going to spend this summer too, but now I have to pay for my own Capri Sun, and if that fact isn't depressing, I don't know what is. Plus, the Capri Sun pouches are so small. I can finish one off in 30 seconds easily. They should start putting Capri Sun in gallons like they do with Hawaiian Punch, but what do I know? I don't have time to come up with genius business ideas for children's juice pouches. I have to spend my summer working so I have enough money to graduate and get a big kid job, and I don't have to spend my life living in my parents' basement. Honestly, I'd consider taking that route and living in my parents' basement, but my mom doesn't let me eat in the basement, and I don't want to go eat in the kitchen because stairs. Maybe FAFSA should start giving us enough money so we can actually relax over the summer, because relaxing is important and healthy. For Coyote Blog, I'm Andy Hartman.
So that's what Andy's going to do.
But what about you? We asked USD students, and here's what they had to say.
I will be going to Florida and spending the whole entire summer break there. Just gonna go to California for a vacation.
Summer's for fun, so fishing, camping, and boating. I plan on going back to Columbus, Ohio, seeing some family, just relaxing.
Internship working in San Diego with dolphins and sea lions for the Navy Marine Mammal Program.
Well, I'm graduating, fingers crossed. Then I'm going to have to try to find a job, so I won't do that. So I'll probably move back in with my parents and just kind of wallow in self-pity for a while.
Hopefully be able to go to a couple concerts and things like that, something fun.
eat cookies and play football.
Work on my thesis for most of the summer.
I'm going to be working at a summer camp that I have been for the past few years.
Work at the pool in Aberdeen, South Dakota.
I'm going to work, and I have my brother's wedding.
I am working at a golf course and taking summer classes.
Work as a lifeguard and work at Harley Davidson.
Work at Bracco.
Work. I'll be working all summer to pay for college.
Work. That's about it.
Coming up after the break, track had their first meet at their new home. We were there and we'll bring you all the sights and sounds next in sports.
This is Coyote News.
Climbing's awesome because it's challenging, both mentally and physically.
You gotta love climbing because even when you're not climbing, you get a great view.
Climbing's great because I feel like Spider-Man.
Climbing is great, because even my nerd friends can do it.
Climbing's awesome because there's always someone who has your back.
Come to the rock wall and figure out why climbing's awesome for you.
The Coyote Twin Theaters in downtown Vermilion, providing entertainment Tuesdays through Sundays. A proud supporter of USD student media.
This is Coyote News.
Tonight on Coyote Sports, the new USD track complex hosts its first meet ever. Plus, Coyote News' Heath Nimke speaks with a record-setting softball player. I'm Kayla Dorhout.
And I'm Levi Goots. Learn about how student athletes remain eligible. And in Cassidy's Corner, she gives us her thoughts on a historic athletic year. First, Kristen Schulber has some news just in.
Breaking news, sophomore guard DJ Davis has quit the Coyote basketball team. Davis started 31 and 32 games this past season and was the team's third leading scorer. Former Syracuse great Dwayne Pearl Washington has died at the age of 52. He was diagnosed with a brain tumor last summer. Syracuse coach Jim Boeheim says that the program changed forever when he signed with the school in 1983. Washington earned All-American honors from 1984 through 1986. He played 3 seasons in the NBA. USD senior Tavashki Lewin has been named the Summit League Athlete of the Week. Lewin earns the weekly award for the 2nd time this season and the 7th time in his career. Lewin broke the USD record in the 110-meter hurdles. His time ranks 5th nationally and 1st in the Summit League. And those are your headlines.
Thanks, Crystal. Coyote softball player Yvonne Minogue moved into 3rd place all-time on the Summit League hits list. She joins Coyote News' Heath Nimke live in the muck. Heath.
The softball season got off to a rough start, but they are now turning around in the Summit League. I'm joined here with Yvonne Minogue to talk a little about softball. Thanks for joining us today. Yvonne, how has things been going for softball so far this season?
Well, like you said in the beginning, it was rough, but we've been doing really well in the Summit League, and we've been coming through in some big times. So,
you now move up to 3rd in hits all time in the Summit League. How do you plan on trying to move up to 1st?
Keep hitting the ball. I mean, just not overdoing it and just doing what I've been doing all season. So,
what's your technique on hitting so well and not letting the records get into your head?
I think just honestly just doing what I know what I can do and not overthinking it, like you said, and just not worrying about that and just worrying about contributing for my team.
How do you and the rest of the team hope to finish this season?
With conference champs, for sure.
Perfect, thank you. The games against Creighton today have been canceled due to rain and are not planned to be rescheduled. The softball team heads to Omaha, Nebraska to play Omaha in a triple header this Saturday. Live in the muck, I'm Heath Nimke.
Coyotes won 19 events as they hosted USD's first outdoor track meet at the new Lillibridge Track Complex. Senior pole vaulter Peter Chapman won his event after setting his personal best of 17 feet, 1.5 inches. This places him 28th in the country. The Coyote went on to win over a dozen more events, including the men's 200 meters, women's triple jump, and women's javelin. Because the meet was the first at the new facility, each winner became a track record holder. The Coyote traveled to Kansas for the Kansas Relays tomorrow.
Student athletes have a variety of requirements they must fulfill to remain eligible to compete in their respective sports. Coyote News' Dylan Hudgens has more.
USC student athletes not only have to perform well on the field and on the court, but in the classroom as well. Ed Kennedy, who plays football for USD, says that student athletes can have a job during the year.
Yeah, you can work a job, definitely not in season. I just don't see how that's feasible whatsoever, just because of the time commitment that in-season demands. And but during the off season, some people do work.
USD student athletes are expected to take at least 12 credit hours in order to be considered a full-time student. Audrey Rieg, who plays volleyball for the university, says that USD has put a system into place to help those who are involved in athletics to make time for their studies.
The USD tennis team season is nearing the end as the team prepares for its final 2 matches. The Coyotes has to reschedule both of its home games this past weekend because of temperature needs to be above 50 degrees, winds below 20 miles per hour, and no rain. The matches were moved up to the Huther Family Match Point in Sioux Falls, where the Coyotes picked up Summit League wins versus IUPUI and SDSU.
We've been playing better and better. I mean, last week ended up being a pretty good week. I mean, Ellie and Yulia have played really good tennis this year. I mean, they're playing number 1 and 2, means they're always playing everyone's best players, and they're both currently 4-0 in Summit League play. I mean, they're both undefeated, probably a great chance to be all conference, and I mean, they've proven all year. I mean, they match up with anyone on our schedule.
Roberts today, which was also moved to Sioux Falls because of weather, and another home game match Saturday against Denver University that could get them a #1 seed in the conference tournament.
The USD women's golf team's currently competing in the Summit League Championships down in Nebraska City at Arbor Links Golf Course. Junior Brenna Lervik entered the final round in 6th place and currently sits tied for 3rd with players still on the course. Freshman Jennifer Vincent was tied for 2nd coming into the round, but a final round 81 dropped her to 7th place. The Coyotes entered the day tied for 3rd place as the team trailed 2nd place Oral Roberts by 1st place. The final round still in progress, so none of the results are final. And an update to a story we told you earlier, USD's head men's basketball coach Craig Smith released this statement moments ago about DJ Davis leaving USD. He says, "We support DJ and his decision to transfer. We appreciate DJ's contribution to our program and wish him the best in his future endeavors." And in Cassidy's Corner this week, she shares her thoughts on a historic athletic year for Dakota area colleges.
This year, the Dakotas have been making a name for themselves. North Dakota and South Dakota are highly overlooked, especially when it comes to college athletics. But this year, athletes throughout the Dakotas have made it a year for the record books. Our women's basketball team won the WNIT here in the Dakota Dome. NDSU continued their dynasty this year by winning their 5th consecutive FCS title. Augustana University's men's basketball team won the NCAA Division II title, and UND's men's hockey team skated away with the NCAA Division I hockey title. This is an impressive list of titles, and something that all the athletes, teams, and schools involved should be proud of. Not to mention the fact that 3 of these schools have been Division I for less than 8 years. The Dakotas are obviously doing something right when it comes to recruiting. It doesn't matter if you attend a university with a high athletic budget, it's about making the most out of the opportunities and resources that are provided for the athletes. If an athlete has the right work ethic and determination, then they are capable of exceeding anywhere. Athletes all around us are breaking the status quo. The Dakotas sure know how to win, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for all the universities. And that's Cassidy's Corner.
Thanks, Cassidy. Coming up next, tonight's Coyote Short features ghost hunting.
And then a little later, we remember Al Newhart. Stay with us.
This is Coyote News.
USD's Media and Journalism Department can be seen and heard all over campus. Faculty members know that hands-on experience now is the key to success after college. Get professional experience by participating in one of the many practicums offered. Have your voice heard on the radio. Edit a promo for a campus organization. Investigate breaking news stories for a weekly newspaper. Design advertisements for local businesses. Get involved with the Media and Journalism Department at USD and start your future now.
Fast Auto Glass is proud to support programming on Coyote News. Located at 222 West Main Street, Fast Auto Glass services windshield replacements and repairs for commercial and residential vehicles.
This is Coyote News.
Tonight on Coyote Shorts,
we go ghost hunting inside the supposedly haunted basement of this building, the Al Newhart Media Center.
Hello, and welcome to USD Ghost Hunters. I'm Brian Spector. There have been rumors and stories about ghosts and spirits living here in the Newhart building, specifically in room 11 and the basement. I'm here to check out those rumors. Here we go. I can feel some very solid ghost presence in here. What was that? Oh my goodness, you can definitely hear it. There's a very strong presence, but wait, somewhere right here. Oh my God! I just felt something touch me. That is some solid ghost contact right there. That is amazing. Did you get that? Never heard anything like that before. It's usually just, I'm gonna kill you or something. As you can definitely tell from the previous footage, spirits flow through the tunnels of the Newhart basement, and ghosts definitely live within the room 11 here in the Newhart building. My name is Brian Spector, and signing off on USD Ghost Hunters.
That's all for Coyote News. Before we let you go, we want to share a video remembering Al Newhart.
The USD graduate, namesake of the building, and founder of USA Today died 3 years ago this week.
Tonight, we close the show remembering Newhart. Good night. That does it for our regular newscast this semester. We'll see you next week for the Red Report.
You're creating something new every day. And every time you publish, you create a new product. That's exciting to me. I wanted to be rich and famous for as long as I can remember. But it was a great experience. I learned more from that failure, I think, than anything is like a dream, and I think really makes an impression on young people and helps them understand why a free press is important.